Welcome back to 1111 with Chaga Tea. We have another exciting guest today, Devon from ShadyOaks Organics.
Hey guys.
Welcome, Devon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Devon is an expert in mushrooms, and his company grows and distributes mushrooms.
Absolutely,
correct?
yeah. We're located in Newburyport, Mass, and we grow 5 varieties of oyster mushrooms currently, as well as shiitake. We grow them all organic, using organic inputs as well as organic methods. We've been in business for about 3 years now, and we distribute our mushrooms to restaurants as well as farmers markets throughout the state.
And I know that you're very involved with your business in the community and the local community here on the North Shore, and you also have some connections with a great organization called Youth Trade.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you could share with our viewers a little bit about that.
Sure. Youth Trade is this wonderful organization. You can find it at youthtrade.org, org.com, check me on that, but it's youthtrade. One of those.
We'll put a link.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And the organization formed out of some UN conferences a few years back, with the problem that they're trying to tackle was youth employment and the growing population increase throughout the world. So we're trying to create jobs for the youth of the future. Through this organization, it's basically a certification similar to fair trade certification, kind of with coffee.
Right. Yeah.
And the label to get this certification, the guidelines behind it are that you have to be under the age of 35, your company, all the owners, as well as a socially responsible company that practices conscious capitalism and is trying to do well in their community as well as for the environment.
Wonderful.
So basically, this organization gets us to meet up with other larger companies and get our foot in the door with them, and kind of, you know, break down the walls that are harder for us small guys to get into initially in the market. And Whole Foods has been one of the great first and leading companies in this movement. So right now, yeah, we've been doing farmers markets from the start. We love doing them. It's really great. That's half the reason we got into this, is because we really believe in the local food movement, and that the food needs to be coming from the area around us, and we can't be shipping food halfway across the country. It doesn't make sense with today's gas prices. Let's grow what we can here and eat what we can here. So that's kind of how we got into that, and we just love going to the farmers markets and seeing the community, you know, one-on-one, and getting to tell them and show them where their food actually comes from. It's great.
And the people experience a higher nutrient value from that too, because
absolutely.
there's less loss of nutrients from the transit time.
Exactly. So, you know, we're growing so much wonderful, nutritious food right here in our New England communities, year-round as well.
Yeah.
Our mushrooms, we're growing tropical varieties of mushrooms indoors in greenhouses, so pretty cool stuff.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of mushrooms,
Yes. Let's talk about our favorite mushroom right now.
we would love to hear more about chaga, and specifically, I happen to be looking at a birch tree right out the window.
Yes.
It would be interesting.
Chaga?
No, haven't found any on my birch tree yet. Not yet.
It would be interesting to hear how you forage.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I really got into this whole business of ShadyOaks Organics and the mushroom cultivation, was through my love of the outdoors. I've always been into camping and hiking and fishing, and throughout college I worked in high-end restaurants as well, so that's kind of where the food end of it came in. And I was doing a lot of hiking in college, and kind of naturally over time I started to just really take in and notice all the beautiful varieties of mushrooms around me. So I became really intrigued, and, you know, just started researching as much as I could, and becoming a self-taught expert, if you will.
Yep.
So now, to this day, I still go out foraging often, and getting to chaga. Chaga is one of the wonderful mushrooms around here, because you can find it year-round. Throughout the winter, you'll still be able to find it on these birch trees. Typically, you'll find it on white birch. And the birch trees actually hold a lot of the medicinal properties. It is found on certain species of spruce as well, but the medicinal properties are definitely a lot better in the ones that are found on birch trees. Yeah. So I actually, let's see, most recently I found some chaga about a month ago. Not too high up. Typically you don't really find them on the lower areas of the tree. You'll typically find them about at least head height, so 5 or 6 feet up, and sometimes even way up there, maybe 20, 30 feet, which really are unobtainable.
I know some people who go out foraging with a long ladder.
Yeah.
For that reason.
I have made rigs up out of long, like pool cleaning poles and and put hatchets on the end of. So I've done some crazy stuff like that before. Yeah, it's an adventure always. But chaga mushroom, it's a very hard, woody fruit body growth that this fungus, it really kind of looks like a charred wood almost on the outside, and it feels exactly like wood as well. And then if you're to break a piece of this tough fruit body off, the inside kind of has a nice goldeny nugget hue to it, I would say.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
color.
it is very beautiful, very natural colors to it.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. And in fact, you could actually use it to dye some clothing if you wanted to.
Well, I was thinking that, and I was also thinking about even potentially for hair colouring, because I'm a bit, really, well, not a bit, I'm very passionate about using foods as
that would be
beauty
very
treatments.
interesting, yeah.
I'm just curious if that's ever...
Who's the guinea pig to try that on?
I'd try it.
The chaga tree, when you want to harvest a chaga mushroom, I prefer to use a little hatchet when I go out to get it. And I'll try to be as easy as I can with the tree without scarring it or damaging it, and try to just get into the fruit body itself. But it definitely makes it a lot easier, whereas it's such a woody substrate. You can break them off with your hands, but it's a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and oftentimes the places you'll find them on the birch tree are around the scarring on them. So keep your eyes open for the scars that you'll find on birch trees. It's a common spot.
You made me feel a little bit better when we were talking before the show about I have a little bit of a concern about over foraging of mushroom, the chaga mushroom, especially because it's becoming quite popular now, and we're getting feedback from our show with the name 1111 with Chaga Tea. People are very interested in chaga. But you were talking a little bit about the ancient wisdom of it, and it's been around for a long time. So just to maybe share a little bit about that to help people feel a bit more comfortable.
So chaga it has been used in Siberian cultures in northern Russia and the forests up there for going on thousands of years now. It's really been a passed down secret, if you will, from everybody, and it's widely used, and they know the medicinal properties behind it, regardless of not having any scientific studies behind it.
Yes.
They know that the good it does for them. They can feel it.
It's a knowing.
Yeah, exactly. You can know your body. So that's really where it mainly started, was in the Siberian forest of Russia, because one of the reasons is that's one of the only places in the world to find it. Besides, you'll find it often in New England here as well. So we're very lucky.
We are lucky.
Yeah, it's very rare. Yeah.
And there is a saying that nature provides what you need, and so it's important to be familiar with your surroundings and what's available to us. Sometimes we don't even notice it, especially if it's 20 feet up on a birch tree.
No, you have to look very hard. Absolutely.
Would there be any advice for anyone who's viewing in case they do see a birch tree that looks like it has chaga on it?
Call Fiona. Let's
And
make
I'll call
go
you.
have tea. Make a little mad. So
Yeah.
be respectful, and if you can harvest it, go for it. And try to dry some, and make a tea. To dry it, simply just let it sit on some newspaper outside in the sun for a day or so, and you'll notice it will it's fairly dry to start to begin with, but this is just going to help the steeping process with the tea. So let it dry for a few days and make some tea out of it. Give it a try. It's wonderful.
And how can people support you and your work?
You can always visit us on ShadyOaksOrganics.com, as well as we post a lot on Facebook. I believe it's just facebook.com/ShadyOaks. Search for Shady Oaks Organics on Facebook and you'll find us. But we do a lot of posts often about different facts about mushrooms and really beautiful pictures as well. So it's fun to follow that. And most of all, come on out to the farmers markets, please. And even if you don't say hi to us, come on out and just support your local farmers. If you're here locally, let's see, in Salem, there's one going on Thursday nights, right downtown in Salem.
Yeah.
We do one in Cambridge as well at the Cambridge Community Center. We do one in Newburyport. So yeah, they go throughout the winter now. It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
You can get fresh, locally grown food year round.
that's good for people to know.
That is good for people to know. And we are so grateful for you to come all
Thank
the
you so
way
much for having
to
me.
Swampscott.
We are
Yeah,
very
hey, it
grateful.
was
a great
Thank you
ride.
so much.
Thank
I
you.
know
Thank you. Thank you.